the referendum, the constitutional amendment bill, is interesting. And what I have been thinking about is the issue of civic education versus public participation. Did we need to have civic education? And I understand Honorable Shamala is saying that, we've had 2.5 years. But my question is around the civic education that would be needed in order for the county assemblies to say they have effectively engaged public participation. But connected to that as well is the fact that even if you had public participation, there is no opportunity at this point in time to make any further changes to the document. And I would be disingenuous not to say that any county at this point in time that is voting either yes or no are driven by a political agenda. I think it has less to do with the people. And one of the things that I have always spoken up and about and against is, if this is not about Wanjiko, who is it about? And as the Linda Katiba team, because you have referenced it, Ben, it's good that conservatory orders were issued. And one of the things that I appreciate is that the conservatory orders say that the county assemblies can indeed continue to proceed with whatever it is that they're doing, but the process will be scrutinized. So I do hope that counties are crossing their T's and dotting their I's, because in terms of form, in terms of procedure, there will also be a very good long hard look at what happened. When I saw that Busia had passed had said yes, at least I saw 7 constituencies reference that they had gone around and at least ticked some boxes here and there. But ultimately, as this process speeds along, and I know Honorable Shamala will disagree with me, as it speeds along, we are heading to the inevitable space, which is the referendum. And I do not know that we're going to be able to do all of these things in time for the 2022 elections. But what I do understand is, so long as the issue of electoral injustice hasn't been addressed, you can tell us to go and vote yes or no all we like. But I want to see where, for example, the Kriegler Commission recommendations were implemented to ensure that at the very least the referendum is free and fair, and we do not have electoral injustice. And this is always what has sparked problems and violence in this country. So it's always, for me, back to the people. Are they effectively engaged? Are they aware? I just saw a short while ago IBC released the latest version of the bill, and I see it on social media. And we always argue that life doesn't happen on Twitter or on social media. Most people will not have access to this document, and it is a complicated document. So I want to see what simplification process took place in order to ensure that it is as popularized as possible, so that when people say yes or no, it's not based on what their political kingpin has said or where they think they ought to stand in the equation or in the algebra of Kenya and as communities or as groups and regions and so on, but rather what it really means for them in terms of an amelioration of their lives. And finally, Ben, I think for me, this process is not simply an amendment process. This is an entire repeal process. When I look at all the matters that need to be addressed, when I look at the fundamental elements of the